Why, hello there, everybody. It's Gary Lucas, and it's now 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It must be midnight in the UK and 1 a.m. in a large part of Europe, and not sure what time it is down under. Let's see. What would that be? If I'm normally at 3, 4, and then another 3, geez, maybe it's like noon. I don't know, Pippa Casey, you tell me. I hope you're watching. I just got back from the American Dream Mall. I think it used to be called the Mall of America in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where I was playing with Feifei Yang, my longtime singing partner and Erhu virtuoso. She's been with me for some years now in this project I have called The Edge of Heaven, playing Chinese pop from the 30s, but we've also now recorded an album in Mandarin, thanks to her translations and wonderful singing, and of things like Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen songs, Julie Kupferberg songs, all sorts of little wonderments. And she and I did a song by Teresa Tang, which we did a couple of years ago at Alice Tully Hall here in Lincoln Center, with the same outfit, which is namely the American Cultural Orchestra, Chinese Cultural, I'm a little flummoxed, it's been a long day, and it's the Chinese Cultural Symphony Orchestra, under the direction of Stephen Fang, who just gave me a ride home, so I'm literally in the door, and I had a lovely reunion with Lulu, who goes nuts every time either of us enter our apartment. Caroline is here too. She was out getting goodies for dinner. And so, yeah, I am pledging my time to you, playing for you here. I'm sorry to be late, but I really couldn't have worked it any other way. But yes, well, I'm just playing in the same key that we did the song in. Everything is all set up on the guitar, so why disturb perfection here? It was, what I'm doing is playing in regular tuning, capoed up to 5. And we did the song called The Moon Represents My Heart, which was a huge worldwide hit in the Chinese community for Teresa Tang, who is thriving to this day, a lovely Taiwanese pop star. And actually, Taiwanese pop has really penetrated in a big way worldwide, considering it emanates from this very small island that was originally called Formosa. And I spent nearly 2 years living there when I was a boy. So it was fun to meet many Taiwanese today and describe some of my adventures that occurred when I was, 22, 23. Over a couple of years, I had quite a sentimental education there, and have terrific memories of it. I've never gone back, though, since I left. Unfortunately, I was scheduled to pay a visit there a couple of years ago on my way to Shanghai for the double wedding anniversary and birthday of my friend Andrew Bull and his lovely wife Sally Kwok, who has sung some of these Edge of Heaven songs with me in the project before, but my connection there was severed with the tragic death of a very dear friend of mine, Jacques Picou, who lived there for many years and taught English and was a father figure to many progressive Chinese people. And anyway, I will tear up if I go on in this vein. But anyway, so I was recalling the best thing maybe that I can pull from the experience would be a gastronomic one, because it is said Taiwan has the best all-around Chinese food in the world. They certainly have a vast variety of it from every region of China, including Taiwan itself, which is considered by mainland Chinese to be part of China. You probably have heard of this little dilemma here, this geopolitical problem. But one of the best things that I can recall is a thing called Mongolian barbecue. And what I would pay to have a really good Mongolian barbecue right about now, it wouldn't be in in dollars. It would be in florins. No, it would be in shekels. Not sure. Maybe talons of gold. But Mongolian barbecue, for those who don't know, is a basic buffet whereby you are given a deep bowl, and then you go to a buffet counter which has very thinly sliced meat of various varieties, chicken, beef, and pork, pretty much. And then a lot of different vegetables and some fruits like pineapple that you can apply per your taste. And then about 15 or 20 different hot oils and sugared sauces and soy sauce, sesame oil, what have you. So what you do is you prepare this concoction in the bowl, sort of by, inference or something. No one ever gave me a guide to, what would make a really good Mongolian barbecue. But then the whole bowl is handed to a guy or a gal who then rapidly stir fries it on a very, very hot stovetop. They have them designed specially for these barbecues. And they're very deft with chopsticks over there. So in about 30 seconds, he flash fries this basically on the stovetop, and then scoops it back in the bowl, hands you the bowl, and then they used to serve on the side delicious hot sesame rolls, which you could hollow out with your finger if you wanted to, or a chopstick, and then stuff with whatever concoction he just fried up for you on the stovetop. And this is one of the most delicious treats I've ever had. It's incredibly satisfying and fulfilling a dish. And the beauty part was, for a mere 200 NT, at least back in the day, we're talking 1975 through 76, about 200 NT, which was $5 in Taiwan, would get you as many bowls of barbecue, Mongolian style, as you wanted, because you could get back in the line and do it all over again until you were satiated. And I'll tell you, the only other place I ever encountered Mongolian barbecue in the world was two different cities in Sweden, of all places. One in Gothenburg, which is a fine, middle-sized city whereby hails the director Ruben Östlund. I think I'm pronouncing his name. The guy who did The Square and some other fine films. And I was trying to tell him about this. I ran into him at a film festival a couple of years ago. I was playing. And yes, he knew about this. It was in a hotel whose name I forget. Who else was in there? When I was down there with my driver, Eric Dawn, who else was eating in the Mongolian barbecue but the remnants of Uriah Heep, who were also on tour, who were playing somewhere else the night I was playing. A jazz club, they were playing some rock venue. And we looked at each other, and they recognized, I guess, a fellow musician. I get these looks from other musicians quite often. And yes, Mick Box and company were in the hotel enjoying the Mongolian barbecue. And then the other place I had it was in the capital of Sweden itself, in Galveston. Gaveston. I don't know. I need Denny Wally to like correct my Swedish there. But so anyway, they're on this Mongolian barbecue tip in Sweden. I don't know about their pandemic response. I think that left a little bit to be desired, did it not? But maybe everybody who was on the way out died happy with some Mongolian barbecue. Just a joke. Just a joke. All right, so let's get out of this tuning here. Anyway, Feifei and I had a great performance there. People who complain about my vocals, of which, I know that there are some people who don't care for them. I have to say I finessed it because I could hear myself. Often that's the main problem. You really need a very good PA and to be able to hear oneself with a monitor system, which I could. So I was spot on today with her in a duo that she had taught me the basic Mandarin Chinese. And we worked with this song. I mean, I worked really hard with the pronunciation a couple of years ago. I would go to sleep singing the song. I'd wake up with the song. I rehearsed it a lot. Caroline got pretty sick of it after a while, but she enjoys it when we perform it. And so we were really good at this thing today with this orchestra. And the Mall of America, which is what they used to call this American Dream Mall, is fairly spectacular. I've seen better malls in Mexico City, frankly, more lavish than this one. Plus, the upstairs, I don't know, they had a very disturbing little bit of a ceiling that was worn away where you could see hanging bits of asbestos and not good. But I digress. I just hope it doesn't fall into the Van Leeuwen vegetarian ice cream up there, but I digress. But here we are in standard tuning. Yeah, okay, I wanted to read off a list of super nice folks who've been so generous with their patronage here. Now, where is that? Pesky? Oh, yeah. Jonathan Luftig, and the lovely Ling. Thank you again, making my afternoon my early evening. And okay, well, this calls for stronger measures in the optics department. Yeah. Okay, what are those reading glasses? About Time Records. Thank you, buddy. Kenneth Spreeman, a pleasure. Mark Green, as always. What an indefatigable supporter you are. Josiah Longo. Now, there's a name to conjure with. Josiah is part of an aggregation called the Slambovians, formerly the Slambovian Circus of Dreams. I've had the pleasure to sit in with them on a couple of shows. They're quite a good psychedelic band. And thank you, Joe. That means a lot to me. Lloyd Reynolds, also Mike Bernowski. You guys are princes. And anyway, it's time for a visit to my old friend Rick Kelly at Carmine Street Guitars. For a little bit of a tune-up, the low E string has got some buzz going on, and this thing is older than I am. You know, this guitar dates from 1941. It's a Gibson J45. I had it in my possession since, must have been 1988. When I started first doing solo shows, I said, I need a good acoustic guitar. I always loved Gibson acoustics, always. I preferred them to Martin, sorry guys, for playing bluesy stuff. They just sounded better to my ears. And this one has fairly got original parts on it. I did have to change up the tuning pegs, sad to say. But it just wouldn't hold tuning. And now it needs some further tightening of a truss rod in the interior. But yeah, this is it. I haven't done anything else to it, and it's my favorite guitar. I've taken it all over the world and used it today, and it never has failed me yet. It's got a bunch of dings. It's like an old surfboard, cracks. They've been glued. They don't really interfere with the playing, and they certainly haven't affected the tone one iota. So yeah, it's my fave. And but I need Rick's tender ministrations on it. If you're in New York and you need a good, reliable store for guitar work of any kind, visit Rick Kelly on Carmine Street. He has a great shop called Carmine Street Guitars. He's still open as far as I know during this pandemic. I saw him a few months ago. And he has all sorts of oddities in the store. Plus he custom makes guitars. He builds them from scratch, from old timber. For instance, there was an actual speakeasy for years in the West Village called Chumley's. You may have heard of it, I don't know. But it dated back to Prohibition era. And it was a secret, door. You wouldn't even suspect that it existed, that there was the speakeasy originally, which later became a restaurant. But, in one of the side streets of the West Village, there was this door, but it didn't look like it led to anywhere. But in fact, it was this old speakeasy. And when Chumley's, basically, I guess the roof caved in on them and they had to get out, he collected all of the old wood that he could salvage that they were going to throw out into dumpsters here. I mean, incredible old timber that dated back to that Prohibition era. And by God, he's still carving guitars out of this stuff. I got to have him make one for me one of these days, except I'm not much of a collector of guitars. I've discussed this. I don't really have the storage space. Plus, I think there's something really unethical about just collecting and leaving them to sit in cases and, I guess, appreciate with value, and whereby you can sell your guitars to a young urban professional or whatnot. But I will have none of that myself. I'm not in it for the collecting, the mere collecting. But I have collected a lot of books, but mainly to read them, you know what I mean? Some of them had nice covers. I have some good ones I could bring out. An old copy of Ulysses, one of the original ones, with an Eric Gill design cover. Beautiful specimen. But again, it was it was one of those, I had to have it at the time, and I haven't got rid of it. But I don't see a point unless you're going to read them. Things are for using, I think, not collecting, not just mere objects to accrue value. There's something really weird about that whole mentality. But hey, anyway, different strokes. And I guess it's time that I gotta go because, I don't know, Caroline brought home some delicious Beyond burgers and Beyond sausages. And as I'm sort of halfway to vegetarianism now, I think I'll impress her into service and cook them up. And, well, that's it. Okay, I told you I would play for you today. I hate missing any of these shows. I love to play for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be back, what is it today, Tuesday? On Thursday at 3 o'clock, the normal time, Eastern Standard Time. Until then, what to say, I don't know. I've been posting a whole bunch of stuff. I'm a never forget kind of guy. And I hope they don't paper over the cracks, even though, Trump was not convicted. A lot of stuff came out, just stuff that can't be walked back. by Republican Party members. And the fact that they would give Marjorie Taylor Greene, for instance, a standing ovation for what? Her, like, I didn't say it, I didn't mean it. Oh, that was, I've seen she meant it. And anyway, keep your lamps trimmed and burning. I'll see you on Thursday. Love you guys. Bye now.